Hello everyone, hello, and you are welcome to my channel. My name is Gravely Kaimbe. If this is your first time on this channel, you are welcome. And for everyone that has been around liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all the beautiful stuff, I thank you. So today I'd like just to speak about the healthcare system in South Africa and Congo. This is in my experience. If there's anything that I'm going to mention in this video that you feel like I did not get 100% right, respectfully let me know in the comment section. But before I could get started, I just wanted to give you a word of encouragement from the book of Isaiah 53 verse 5 that says that by his stripes we are healed. Christ was crucified for our transgressions. He was flogged for you and I, and the blood that was released from his body was meant to purify us and to make us whole again. And when it says that by his stripes we are healed, I really want to use that and really encourage you. If you are going through something right now, you are going through certain pain, you are going through a pain that you can't even tell anyone about, a secret that is hurting you, that was either self-inflicted or it was inflicted on you by someone else or by something, I really want to encourage you that in Christ you are healed, and may you live up to that. May you live to experience that healing. May you live to experience that deliverance. May you heal and also experience wholeness. Now, in order for us to get into the video of the day, I just want to point out something for you guys to kind of have an idea of what I'm actually going to be talking about. The weather in South Africa is different from the weather in Congo, and there are certain, just like in South Africa, there are certain areas that do get good government services, or services, to make sure that there's health, there's good toilets, there's hygiene, and there is all these safety safety measures put in place in order for people to live a healthy and conducive lifestyle. But in Congo, I would say, with the fall of the government or with the mismanagement of funds, most areas do not experience it. It's not like here where you get certain provinces are doing it and certain provinces are not doing that, but I would say most areas are not having that experience. I had a chance of riding around, and I can kind of say that I have an idea. So certain or most places are not kept properly. So you will see waste thrown anywhere, anyhow, and there is no one else to come and pick it up. It's not like here where you find a group of people that have been employed, that have been put in place in order to make sure that they clean the streets, they pick up dirt and go throw dirt somewhere else. It's not always the case. So because of that, so many people fall sick because they did not get to drink clean water. Many people get sick because all these things bring about germs and all this stuff. If you're not careful, you fall sick. So now, with that being said, we do not have a lot of hospitals like we have here in South Africa. In South Africa, or I would say in Cape Town, almost every area has an hospital. You can say that I live in this area, 10-15 minutes from here, I would have an hospital. And also with the infrastructure or the roads that have been built, it makes it easier for people to really have access. There are different routes used to make sure that people have access to hospitals, airports, police stations, and stuff like that, which is not always the case. So when it comes to hospitals, you have to travel quite a long distance in order for you to go to the hospital that and also with hospitals, sorry to say, hospitals, you have to go with the amount of it has to go with the amount of money that you have. For example, so what I can tell you is that in order for you to get good quality healthcare from the hospital, you need to have money. Just like for education, you need to pay in order for you to be educated, you also need to pay in order for you to receive healthcare. It's not like here in South Africa where the government has put in place certain measures in order to make sure that there is what you call a public hospital. In as much as we complain about the service at the public hospitals, someone else is paying the price. It's not free. It's not as free as we say. We pay for it through the tax. We pay for it through certain all these other stuff. However, at least that is put in place here in South Africa, which makes it easier for even people that do not have money to have access to healthcare, they have access to doctors, they have access to nurses, they have access to midwives should you be pregnant, and all this stuff, which is very important. But they, if you do not have money, my friend, if you want to go to see a doctor, for example, you are pregnant, you gotta have money for that checkup. If you want to go see a doctor for a nosebleed, you gotta have checkup for that nosebleed, and the doctor will not touch you, will not do anything until you pay the money. I know this is how it is also done at GPs. Yes, I know when you want to go to a GP, you need to pay money, or you need to have a medical aid, which is also a different thing, because they as well, certain people who work for respectable companies also have access to medical aid, and they are those individuals that will actually get a chance to get treatment easily, or get access to doctors easily. However, that is not for everyone. So yeah, you need to have money to see a doctor. If the doctor saw you for consultation and you do not have money for medication, he is not going to take money from his pocket and give you the medication. You have to go and buy the medication yourself. Should you be getting treatment and there is no funds, my friend, they will take you out of the hospital and be like, go home. Here you can still be transferred to a public hospital for you to continue your treatment, but there you are going home and your family just has to wait. Like, they have to try other means to get you treated. So now, with the fact that you have to travel for long distances to get to a hospital, and also for the fact that you need to pay in order for you to get treatment, certain hospitals do not have the materials needed in order for you to get the treatment that you want. And that is why I would say that you need to pay. That is where the reason of you having to pay. So someone could be like, certain doctors do this, where they'll probably see that, okay, what you need to be treated for is, for example, a headache, but then I've been low on business and everything like that. You could be coming to me and I could be treating you for something else other than a headache, and it keeps you coming. And so many people have been misdiagnosed, and that is the reason why so many Congolese people leave. They leave Congo to go and get treatment in India, in China, in like Europe. Some of them also come here at least to get a diagnosis, a diagnostic or whatever, a diagnosis, in order for them to know, okay, yes, dear doctor, this is what I'm actually experiencing right now, and I need a treatment, this particular treatment. Because if you're not careful, most times people are treated for the sickness that they do not have, or certain measures or certain treatments are done, but that are not necessary. Speak about lack of materials. There is usually a lack of medication, like a proper medication needed in order for you to get the treatment that you need. Hence, again, coughing up money. Yeah, in my experience, I've gone through operations. I've taken medication for this and that. At least I can say that there are resources available. You could have the money here, you would get treatment, you could get good treatment, but that is not always the case back home. But recently when I went home, I went to one of the biggest hospital, one of the recent, it's a big hospital in Kinshasa. I think it's called HJ hospital. It's for Indians. And I could see when I got there, I was like, okay, these people actually have something going on. And it kind of gave me like the doctors, nurses and everything, it kind of gave me a feel like, okay, this is what you call professional to some extent. However, they are also very strict when it comes to payment and stuff, because they have the resources needed to do all these diagnoses, because they have doctors from China, from like even doctors that came from the diaspora, like Congolese doctors. So like they have certain things in place. And one funny thing is that they have a lift. So when you're going to see a doctor, from whatever angle that there's a lift. That lift, for example, if you leave without paying or without sorting out your pay at the reception of that doctor, when you get in that lift, in order for you to leave the premises, someone will catch you. There's a security on every single lift that will be like, my friend, you did not pay, and you won't be released from the building. Some hospitals do not have what you call generators. For example, we have, like in Congo, you could have load shedding for 4, 5, 6 hours. Nobody tells you what's happening. Nobody tells you when you're gonna get it. Some people even go up to 2 days with no electricity. So if you live in that area, for example, and there's a hospital in that area, and you fall sick and you need to be operated upon, my friend, it's not going to be an easy thing. Because I remember my husband once told me that because my husband came to SA for health reasons as well, but when he was young, he had to get operated. He was on the operating table when the electricity went off, and he had to be operated upon with a torch. Can you imagine? The operation started at 6 a.m. and ended at 6 p.m. Have that in mind. Like, you know what I mean? One thing that makes South Africa different in terms of medications, that South Africa has found the way to put everything, like almost everything is capsulated, almost everything is put in a box, almost everything is put into some container. Like you find it at ShopRite, you find it here and there. You don't really have a lot of people that can tell you that if you are sick, you have flu, that you need to go and take this leaf and burn it and what. So for people that do not have money, people that do not have the resources, they usually have a small plant somewhere in the backyard, somewhere in the garden, and because you can't afford to go to the doctor. So my friend, if you have flu, boil this thing and cover your head. And also to cater to the lower class, you would find people having what do you call it, pharmacies. It's not like in SA, like sometimes. For the one thing that I would say for SA is that it might be easier for you to find a hospital, but pharmacy you should not have to travel 15 minutes or 10 minutes to go to a pharmacy. I do believe that there should be pharmacies very close by in almost every area, because if I can't afford to go to a doctor, if I can't afford to go see like a doctor whatever time of the day, I need at least to have access to a pharmacist. However, I could be, for example, a nurse. I studied nursing, so I know a thing or two. So I'll open, or I might even not do know a thing or two, but I'll open a pharmacy. You would come and buy everything up to antibiotics, whatever. You just come to me and tell me, hey, I'm feeling pain here, XYZ. They'll be like, okay, cool. So they'll get you treated. So that is how, not they'll give you the medication that you need, and you can actually buy it in bulk. You can buy that medication in bulk. Nobody's gonna do anything to you. Nobody's gonna come to arrest you. It is quite normal. So once you get that treatment and you see that it is not working, then you'll be like, okay, now let me just save up the money and go to the hospital and let them just like open me up and see what's up. And another thing that I would say about the South African in my own experience with the South African and the Congolese healthcare systems, that because we have lack of resources, when I say in terms of medication, in terms of these machines, I could like these scanners and whatever. Once they have identified what the problem is, what you are suffering from, they will try their very best to see how they can heal you in all human ways possible, in terms of for example, if you're having fibroid, for example, they'll try and find a way they can get you that fibroid out naturally. As long as it does not cause health risk, they'll try and find ways that they can get that fibroid out naturally without having to go through an operation. Whereas in SA, it's like almost everything operating table, and then they want to remove. So they would really try before going through an operation. It's like they will really have try. If you really find yourself on the right doctor, that doctor will try everything humanly possible. The doctor will say, okay, this is what you have, you can actually drink this herb and it's going to make you feel better, or you can drink this, you can drink that. So yeah, that is also one of the things that I just wanted to mention. So many women die in childbirth because Everybody wants to give birth as a Hebrew woman, but we do not always have the resources needed in order to look after the pregnant women. So here in SA, if they see that you are, based on the resources that you have for you, of course, if that they see that okay, this could cause a risk to your health and what, so in advance already they preserve you, and they say, should we get to the 30 something week and this is still occurring, you are going through a C-section. But that is not always the case, because you just come, normal checkup, they just touch, sometimes scans are not done properly, or or sometimes the scans are done, but when you get to the end, it's really, 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 really tough. However, you still get those hospitals that actually do try their best, and that is why I also mentioned that Indian hospital that I went to really had the resources, and it was quite pricey, and you needed to have medical aid, or good in order for you to get the health that you need. But should you end up on all these small hospitals that do not have enough resources, it is very, very, like, it is really tough should you give birth by C-section, because number one, your treatment, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get proper medication in order to help you heal. It's not guaranteed that you will not fall for like infections. So many people die of infections day after, so it is very important. Yeah, this is something that that is so close to my heart, and that is something that I would really love to see my government working on. Of course, they are really trying here and there to kind of cater to women and children, but it is not always the case. South Africa has at least some, in one way or the other, put measures in place in order to make sure that the mother and the child are preserved. And say that people in South Africa live longer. You could have diabetes, you could have the HIV virus, you could live longer than someone that has diabetes and virus and what's the HIV virus back on. So yes, I think I'm going to stop my video right here. If there's anything that I mentioned that you would really want me to elaborate on, or if there's anything I mentioned that you feel like it was incorrect, please do feel free to put in the comment section, and let us all get learning. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.